coral tree. Bloody caviar. Sorry.
Help?
What were you saying?
I was just talking about flying.
Oh, right. Why?
Oh, I don't know. I just think it might be really interesting to see the world from that angle.
Wait, are you saying you want to fly?
Well, maybe.
But you're an egg.
Yeah, I know, but I could wear a helmet or something.
Oi, Tess! Stop putting the bloody decorative pebbles up your nostrils. Look, Daz, I just don't think eggs are meant to fly, mate. Ow! Tess, what did I just say?
Oopsie.
Flight simulator, where you can fly anywhere you can dream of, as long as you are not an egg. Please verify that you are not an egg.
Melanie, do you reckon I can have a go at flying your kite?
I don't know, Daryl. Isn't it illegal for eggs to fly or something?
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I wouldn't actually be flying myself. I would just be, you know, holding your
Oi,
kite,
babes.
which is-
Is this egg bothering you? Because I'll end him if he is.
No, sorry, I was just...
Oh my god, that's like so romantic.
Melanie, your kite!
Oh, wow.
All right, Humpty Dumpty. Do you know why you're here?
I tried to fly.
You try to fly. And do you know what happens when eggs try to fly?
They have fun.
This is the third time this year you've tried something like this. What's going on, Daryl? Look, you're a good guy, Daryl. I'm gonna let you off with a warning. But this is the last time, okay? You should really get some help, mate.
Egg. A vessel for housing tiny embryonic life forms that have evolved over millions of years to live in complete symbiotic harmony with one another. But can eggs fly? Yes, I think they can.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to UE where we find a party to share what they've learned from game making. I'm your host, Tina, and today with me I have a handful of the developers behind the incredible game Ripout, which we will be going further into depth and taking a look at in a second here. Just as a bit of a warning up front, this is a scary game. It's there's some spooks in here. So if you have anything within vicinity that could get knocked from jump scares or things like that, then maybe take a couple seconds now to just gently shift things to the side. I myself have cleared off my entire desk in preparation to avoid any potential mishaps. But yeah, I first would love to go through and have our guests kind of tell us a little bit about themselves. So first up, Goran, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Goran Rajcic. I'm the creative director of the project Ripout. This is a three-player co-op game, and I've been in the industry for 20 years, starting with PC gaming, going through mobile gaming, and then back to PC gaming, thankfully, and console gaming as well with this project. So I'm a big fan of shooters and horror games, and this game is like our pet project game, and that's why we actually named our studio after this game. So we're all working together. Most of us from the studio were working together on some projects before, and then we decided to make something that we really wanted to do for a long time, and this is the result.
That's awesome. It is such a pleasure to have you here today. I'm excited to see what this pet project came to fruition as thus far. And then next up, we have Danilo. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Yes. Hi. So I'm the lead developer on this project. I've been working for over a decade in the game development. Most of that time with Goran. We had some PC projects that weren't really successful, but we had some, mobile games that were successful, and now here we are doing basically what we agreed. We it was our passion individually, and we figure out this is what we both want to do. So here we are.
That's awesome. I'm very excited to have you both here today. And then, of course, behind the scenes, we also have a third member who's going to be playing the game with us, but isn't going to be on camera and stuff with us. But her name is Alexandra, and she is absolutely such a pleasure and is wonderful. The main screen share that we're going to be seeing today is her. So she's going to be showing off her mad FPS skills. Very excited to have her here with us as well. But yeah, this is what we're going to be doing today. I am super stoked. Before we go in, just to give a little bit of context to everyone watching, in case they're unfamiliar with Ripout, do you mind giving them just a very quick, short summary of what the game is and what they're getting into today?
Okay, do you want me to take over or? I'll do it. So basically, Ripout started us out as a four-player co-op, and then we went and realized it was too messy, and we wanted to focus on three-player co-op to make it more scary. It can also be played in single player. This was very important for us, not to force players to go into co-op, because we really wanted to focus on the horror aspects as well. So what you're doing is you're kind of special forces member equipped with a pet gun that is a biotech weapon, and that is able to shoot and attack enemies and rip pieces out of them. So you go into derelict spaceships that are procedurally generated every time. So there's a surprise combination of events every time you enter a mission. You go through derelict ship, kill a lot of mutants, get a lot of pieces of equipment, finish some missions, go back to your hub ships, upgrade your pet, and then do it all over again. There is a very simple story arc in the game. It wasn't really a focus, but we did find during the development that we do want players to have a certain story and feel that the world is lived in. And these ships are lived in, so we created a lot of background lore, so the players will be able to go through missions, complete the story, but the focus is on replayability and experimenting with the weapons and the various creatures that you find along. So it's all about going into the unknown and always meeting the unexpected.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for this one. I'm biased. I told you before, this is one of my personal favorite game genres, so I'm super
That's awesome.
stoked to get on it today. It's gonna be great. But yeah, with that, I'm ready to hop on over to the game if y'all are.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. There we go. We've got it pulled up here. So where are we? Where are we starting off?
Okay, so this is the hub ship. In the hub ship, you will be able to choose the missions that you go to. Like this, what you're seeing on screen right now is the star map of the sector you're currently in, and you can choose the ships that you want to board. You have a short description of how big the ship is, and what kind of mission there is, and what kind of rewards you get. So the size of the missions matters if we wanted players to choose if they want to do a longer mission or a shorter mission. So like if there is a ship that is size 4, that's just 4 interconnected areas, and it can go up to 9, and the length of the mission changes with that. So if somebody wants to go in and have a 15-minute mission, that's fine. We want players to be able to do that in co-op and single player, and just have a break and do it and get out without needing to sacrifice 2 or 3 hours to complete a mission. But there are also later on in the game missions that can take up to 45 minutes to complete, and it's up to players when they want to do this. It's always their choice. So the hub ship also provides upgrades for your pet, some armor upgrades, a crafting station, and your shuttle. And you enter your shuttle and board the derelict ships scattered through space. So this is Alex is showing our crafting station that we didn't unlock any stuff right now, just a few. Like she's using, yeah, okay. So this is the crafting. You can craft a lot of stuff, and then equip it, experiment with it, and it will affect the way you play. So one of the big challenges we had is making a lot of different approaches to how you enter the game, how you approach the enemies, how you play the mission, and to balancing it all out. Because once you're in the mission, the enemies themselves are able to grab little critters that are scattered all across the derelicts, and they can attach to enemies, and they get new abilities. So even the enemies are adaptable and different every time, and their abilities are different. And you can also grab these abilities with your pet gun and experiment with combining them with your weapon, as well as getting into the ship and getting some additional upgrades that are not permanent. So there is like a big focus on creative gameplay every time you enter. So we can go now.
I love the countdown too. It just adds that extra level of suspense, waiting to go out and get into it. So while we're waiting in here, I'm curious if there was any inspiration behind the game. Like, was this the ideal game that you just always wanted to make, and it was kind of an amalgamation of all those ideas? Or was it also inspiration from maybe other games that you've enjoyed before, or any movies or things like that?
All of the above. I mean, yeah. There are movies. This is, I hope, obviously inspired by 80s horror, body horror movies like The Thing or The Fly. aliens, of course. So there is a mix of all of that, a bit of Cronenberg, a bit of Carpenter, and we really wanted to capture that feeling from the 80s that we loved growing up as kids. And we loved a lot of shooter horror games as well. Obvious comes to mind, like even the Thing game from the early 2000s, or Dead Space or stuff like that. But what we really wanted to do is what we felt was lacking was the unknown, the ability to enter a ship and not know what to expect. So even for us, playing the game, it's been in development for over 3 years. It's very important when you enter a mission and we're not sure where the enemies will come from or what combination of rooms and loot we'll get. So it's that scary factor that had to stay, and this was the gameplay that we really wanted to touch upon. So we, even if we keep adding stuff after the launch, it was always going to go into this big pool of random stuff that the system will pull out and combine together, and hopefully give a lot of surprise to players, and both in terms of scares and in terms of gameplay.
Yeah, awesome.
So Danilo, if you want to add your inspirations as well, I guess we already covered most of it now, but
yeah, I think you covered it all. Yeah.
Okay. So basically we're here in the shuttle bay. We always start at the shuttle bay, and let's go, Alex. You can try to show some, go back and show some aspects. Here is where we landed. The ships. The story is that the humanity is escaping from Earth from this biotech weapon that they created. And it went sentient and started combining technology and flesh and creating these mutants that took over Earth. So they escaped via a refugee fleet of ships, but it caught up. So what you're doing is trying to find out the location of a safe space, the sanctuary, and you have to inspect these ships and find clues to where it actually is, because obviously the fleet didn't reach there, and you are among a few survivors that are still alive, and trying to get there and see if anybody else reached the actual goal. So this is why you see a lot of biotech stuff mutated around, being able to fuse computers and environment with any flesh it can find, and this is what it looks like. So you go around, get the direction from the compass and the basic descriptions of what you can do, and there are a lot of like hazardous pieces of environment here, and you're able to interact with, like switching off the electricity, switching it on, because some hazards are electric and can damage you, so you need to avoid them. And also some machines are not you're not able to interact with some machines if the electricity is turned off. So there is a system there that you can manipulate, and sometimes even capture monsters in electricity if you're careful and draw them in. So okay, I think there are no monsters here. We found what we were looking for, and so we can go ahead. So you have a flashlight, Alex. You can show it. It's you can turn it on and off. It has limited use, but it regenerates. And these are checkpoints, like, yeah.
Sorry, the enhancement station, I didn't find.
Oh yeah, there is an enhancement station. Let's try to find it. Like, because it's randomly generated, some special machines spawn at random places that you're supposed to find, like upgrades that are not permanent. I was mentioning it before, and they can really be a game changer. So it's a bit of a roguelite element to it. You try to find them and enhance them. There they found it. So this is like, it always gives you 3 choices of what you can get, and it can affect your. Oh, it's we need, yeah, shut on. So here we have some health upgrades or support more charges. So it's but we didn't unlock those yet. So the health is a good. Good choice.
I feel like it's always good to start with
you actually
extra health.
Alex used the other one, so okay. I took the health boost. Let's just keep going. Okay, so these are checkpoints that all 3 players have to be present in order to proceed, and no monsters can be inside this, otherwise you cannot go ahead. The scan will not allow you. And in case anybody died, we would be resurrected here at this station. Alex, try to show that, the resurrection station. Back here, yeah, I just marked it. Okay, so there is a stealth element to the game, so if you crouch and sneak, you won't be making any noise, so hopefully you can surprise enemies, but that is not 100% way to do it, because some monsters will be able to come out of vents or nests, and it's not really that predictable, but it's still a safer way to go than just going in guns blazing.
Oh my gosh, the atmosphere.
Yeah, there's the monster there. Oh yeah, so yeah, this guy, yeah, is a big guy, but we can, if we throw 2 pets at it, we can instantly kill them. So in multiplayer, there are these strategies that you can just wait for your pet to cool down, throw them at bigger enemies, and they will instantly rip them apart. So if you time it well, even the monsters that are like that need 3 pets, you can take them take them out in one shot. But these are the nests. So this is a nest that they can come off. So you can look out for these nests. They're organic and mechanical piles of goo that you can run across, and sometimes monsters are hiding in there. This is the hazard that she's jumping over. Yeah. There's another enhancement station. So here we have like pet damage. That means the pet will deal more damage when it rips apart enemies, more stamina again, and critical overload. This is you will be able to do more critical damage and have a higher critical chance for your pet.
Wow.
So this is a big.
I'm stunned by
show the thingy at the center. Like we have a lot of these mutated things in levels that just because the cell that the organism that runs sentient, it can just use anything to create architecture or sentient beings. So not even voles are safe. Okay, let's finish the task and move on. Oh yeah, there's an enemy. So let's try to... Yeah. Alex, where are you?
She's looting. Oh my gosh.
So now they
incredible.
took. I'll just show they took the. If you can show Danilo, yeah, he has a shield right now, and that's one of the critters that they picked up. Like they give special powers. There is another one here. So now this enemy behind them also took like 2 shield critters that you can see on it. So it has extra protection, and it will soak up our bullets. But the pets can like jump on them and take them off. These are like, if you see the enemies drop like crafting components that you can use to create other weapons or armor pieces. So that there will be a lot of those, and this is a secondary goal of going into the derelicts, picking them up. There's another enhancement station. There is a leech pet upgrade here. This upgrade allows Alex, oh, we're still fighting. Sorry, this enemy is a teleporting enemy that can teleport around the level and sneak up behind you and explodes upon death. So it's extra dangerous and also has ranged attacks. There's another one. But 2 pets take it out instantly, so... Okay, so back to the enhancement station. The leech pet is like, it gives the ability to take health away from enemies and bring it to you, so it kind of is a vampiric upgrade for the pet. If you die during the mission and somebody resurrects you, then you will lose these boosts, but you get to keep all the other stuff that you pick up during the mission if you bring it to the ship.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, let's
We've got
go.
a question from... sorry, we got a question from chat here, if you don't mind me kind of tossing that at you in the middle of this.
Go on.
They're wondering, when you were making your game, what kind of light would you use most often for your level building, especially to get the kind of mood that you wanted to achieve? Did you focus more on dynamic lighting, non-dynamic, cool lighting, warm, things like that?
Okay, so we had a palette that we wanted to use. We looked at horror movies, and it's kind of hues of green and blue that we were trying to achieve. So that's for the color palette. So it's usually this kind of almost monochromatic basic color that we used. Of course, there is some orange that gives a bit of contrast to it. But as for the technical aspect of it, I mean, Danilo can say about the problems that we had, because these levels are generated randomly, so we don't use baked lights, and we had to use dynamic lights. So Danilo, if you want to jump in with the technical problems and me whining about wanting a lot of baked lights in the levels and not getting them.
Yeah, so that's one of the challenges. When we started, we didn't know if we can use the baking system, and because we are using the level instances that we have to spawn, I mean load and rotate and place in the different tiles in the grid, we couldn't use the baked lights, so everything is dynamic.
That makes sense, yeah. Are there any other challenges that maybe you weren't expecting that popped up when you tried to tackle this kind of like procedural generated part of this?
Yes, so one other issue was basically with the performance on the consoles. We had to work with the static nav meshes. So basically what we did is let the level generator place everything and generate the nav mesh, and once that is done, we have to lock the nav mesh so it doesn't regenerate ever again, basically. So the one from that point onward, it's just same nav mesh.
Right. Oh, that sounds like so much work. I commend you all for getting it put together and functioning.
Well, the good thing about Unreal is it still looks great. I mean, even with real-time lighting and not so, because the post-processing and the volumetric lights really add to the atmosphere. We added fog and everything. We wanted to be really dense and uneasy for players when they're inside the derelict. So that part was pretty easy using Unreal. Like all the effects were done really quickly, and post-processing was done really quickly, and placement of the lights and manipulation of the lights themselves was really something that we had a lot of fun working with, even though we had to limit the number of intersecting lights on the levels. It's still since this is a horror game, we didn't really need that many lights, so that came to our advantage as well.
Yeah, for sure. I love all the little environmental hazards that you have thrown in here too, like the vents and the electricity that came out on the ground there a second ago.
Yeah, the goal was to not have a single like space in the entire level that you feel safe in. Like the monster can come out of everywhere, and there is a problem at every corner. And as you progress, it just we add more and more challenges throughout the levels. So it's really about never letting your guard down. So we don't want players to ease in and go just shooting straight, but always walking slowly and looking around the environment until they feel it's safe to proceed. There's something hitting me. Is somebody?
Oh no, it's an invisible. It's a ghost. Yes.
What?
Oh, he killed me. It's a bug. Pay no attention.
I thought you were just shooting each other for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, there is an invisible enemy, I think.
Yeah. So also, if in this security point there is a enemy present, it won't open the gate. So this is what happened to us now. We had the invisible enemy, which was actually a bad bug. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are still working on the bugs. So it's not. We have a few months to go, I guess. So it's.
I don't know. That one feels like it could be a feature. Invisible mutants is terrifying.
Yeah, just sound, and just making footsteps on the ground. So yeah. Yeah, that's a feature.
People love invisible enemies. Yeah.
Fully intended.
It was really hard to pull off.
Done amazingly.
So okay, now we're basically back to the shuttle, not the same shuttle bay, but we're back to a shuttle bay, and we're as soon as we clear it, we can go back to the hub ship. There's always like a chance that there is a vault here. Yeah, there is. Like the vaults are special rooms with loot, so they also randomly spawn. And let's hope we get something cool. Yeah, so we got some pet mods that increase the. So these are permanent once you bring them back to your ship, and some garments, so armor parts, and these are permanent. You can, if you have enough collected resources, you can craft them in your hub ship, and it stays with you till the end of the campaign. Or even if you restart the campaign, the some of the schematics stay with you, so you can play the campaign on hard difficulty and have a random experience the second time around with some items that you already found.
This is awesome. Another question we got in from chat here, from Not the Tech Guy. They're wondering, really enjoying the sound design for the game. What has the process for that aspect of the game looked like, and what were the largest challenges for getting the soundscape you wanted?
Okay, Danilo, you want to take over? You were closer to the source. So.
Okay, so yeah, it is challenging, especially when you have like co-op with multiple guns firing all at the same time, and there are also the things we call UX sound, which is like the sounds that are very important for a player to acknowledge, like the hits and something that goes with the UI. For example, the pet cooldown. Maybe you notice that there's a big like the draw in the middle of the screen once the pet is cooled down, once it's ready to be released. It's also followed by the sound, so we have all those cues to let player know what's going on, basically. So yeah, we have like tons of sound classes and mixes and everything. it's still challenging. I mean, this sound is not the final. We actually have the newer version of the game with the, you know, with the sound for the guns changed that have more of the on the higher spectre, so the high frequency sound, because a lot of things are in the lower register where you know everything is rumbling, and if you have too many sounds that are in the same registry, they're just mushed together and you basically don't hear anything.
Right. That's a lot of
so yeah, also
really
some
interesting considerations to take it.
Yeah, and you know the ducking or the music and other sounds that are less important. Also concurrency, you know, some of the sounds you only need one to hear it once, not every instance. And stuff like that.
Awesome.
Okay, so Alex, let's jump to another sector now. So this is cheating. So in order to get to the other sector, you have to complete a certain number of issues. But you know, just for the sake of it, let's do it, and we'll try to unlock maybe some weapons just to show you the varieties.
Maybe you can craft some. Long gun is already available.
Yeah, so Alex, try to show some different stuff. I'll be equipping.
Is it cheating if you made the game? I don't know. That's my hot topic for you.
It is. You know, it's cheating because you go around without looking at your balance and what you did. So definitely cheating, especially for us. So okay, I'll use the shotgun. No, not you're using shotgun. That's fine. I'll use something else then. I'll use.
Oh, there's a rocket.
I'm using the long gun.
Okay, you're using the long gun. I'm gonna use the flamethrower. Just, yeah, let's have fun.
Hell yeah.
So, let's see, Alex, if you have any garments, show that. If you have any garments unlocked, show the garment station.
Just earn the achievement for the complete set.
Oh, I love that you can change your own character. Do these have any impact on gameplay, or is this purely aesthetic?
Yeah, you can see the boost that you get right away, so you can compare them. So these also affect. They can affect the way you play. Like if you want to go more with more armor and more heavier approach, use heavy weapons or even melee weapons, but you can also use like suits that give you more damage or EMP damage and combinations of a lot of stuff. So it's also the goal of the players to combine these boosts with the weapons, the weapon boosts, and maybe have a completely different way of approaching the game. Like some people we've seen in tests use a lot of melee attacks, and it's possible to pass the game with just melee. It's hard because you get hit, but if you get the right combination of stuff, you can even do that.
That is awesome.
So let's choose. Alex, choose a different type of ship, like some civilian mission or something. Okay, ready? Let's go. So now we're in the second sector, and some new monsters will unlock. Some new the spawns get harder. There's a bigger variety of critters jumping around and a bigger pool of loot to grab.
We have a question here about the garment changes and such. They're wondering, how does this item swaps work? Did you skin all the gloves in one skeleton and change their visibility, or is there a system which changes the meshes in real time?
That's probably you, Daniel.
So yes. So we're using like the master pose for the character, and we have different skeletal meshes for each body part. So once the player selects the garment piece, like for instance boots, we just swap the actually we reload everything. We refresh the whole character, but the end result is the different mesh is loaded for the boots.
That's awesome. There is so much love and attention put into every single aspect of the game that we've seen so far. I'm curious, how big is your studio, or how many people have worked on this so far?
Okay, so far there have been a lot of outsourcers, so we can't exactly even know how many, but the actual the full-time employees are 13 at this moment. So we started a bit like maybe 10. Now we're up to 13 people in the studio. And we had like help at various stages of development, like we get more modeling or animation during some stages where we needed more architecture and more monsters and props, but yeah, mostly it's been about 13 people during these 3 years.
Wow.
We should also add that we started in a studio and then COVID hit. We all went to work from home and just never returned. So we are planning to hopefully get back to the studio, actually, because we do kind of miss the personal touch that it gives. You know, so some things are quite different in communication when you're speaking face to face versus using Discord all the time, which we got kind of accustomed to. And there are benefits working from home, obviously, because no traffic, no parking. Just get out from the bed and have your coffee and start working, and then when you finish you just lay down. So that part is great. The part that is not great is like not seeing people for months and just being in your dark room. As you can see, this is where I live most of the time.
Healthy habits.
Yeah, it's very healthy. Gaming is a very healthy habit to have.
Absolutely. Healthy endeavor entirely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so now we got some zombies as well. We had to get in some zombies in the game. But they're not as tough unless they get some critters on their head that give them like long range abilities. Or some, like this zombie, this guy, yeah, he's got a tentacle on his head, so it gets significantly more dangerous. Yeah, okay. What killed me? I have no idea.
Flamethrower, seriously?
Yeah.
You're trying to showcase all the bugs we have?
Yeah. I forgot this was the older build. I played a newer build where this bug was actually fixed. But bugs are important, you know. You should show bugs. I mean,
absolutely.
Yes, they're part of the ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah. And just they're a normal part of development. I would love to see a project that went completely from start to finish with everything going exactly as planned, no bugs whatsoever. If anyone can show me that, I would be amazed.
I don't think that's even possible, even with like the most experienced people and most talented people. I don't think that's because the game, you know, it's a process where you have to change things and you keep changing them until they're good. It's that aspect of fun that you can't plan for.
Yeah. Let's see. Want to make sure I'm pulling enough questions in from chat. I keep getting like just absolutely sucked in, and I'm slacking here, guys.
Just fire away with the questions. I mean, we'll.
Let's see. We've got one here. Citrash is wondering, how did you arrange the architecture of the project? Is it closer to modern OOP applications or to older games? And there's a couple other questions. We'll start there though, so I'm not just throwing like 5 at you all at once.
Yeah, we are basically old school, so I mean, yeah, we are. This is the OP, but
oh no!
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
oh,
go
no,
ahead.
Alex.
It's fine.
No, Goran, you take it.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish the.
No, I was just saying that we're old school. I mean, it's evident from your experience and the style and 80s and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the design of the spaceships and stuff specifically, did you take inspiration mostly just from sci-fi stuff, or did you look at some more kind of modern architecture and then adapt that to what you were wanting it to look like? Or how did you get kind of the level design of the ships here?
Well, we kind of did Lego design here because we had pieces of ships, pieces of walls and stuff, and tried to make the layouts of the level like what we wanted to do with the level in terms of challenges and in terms of having scary corners and scary rooms that you have to peek behind. So that was the first goal. Actually, we didn't do that many planning for the actual environment architecture, but we rather did level design. And as for the pieces themselves, like we wanted to have a lived-in sort of experience. So yeah, we did have a goal to have a bulky sci-fi 80s, but also to have something that's relatable, and you see that they're lived in, and you have chairs and carpets and a lot of trash and stuff that people use. So it's a bit of retro and combined with some old school sci-fi and lived in spaces from actually what you could find in contemporary homes and not in sci-fi. So we didn't want to be too modern or too cyber or anything like that. It was really like having these dirty ships with big chunks of metal sprayed with a lot of human touch.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm seeing an extra creature on Alex's screen right now, and I'm curious as to what exactly that is.
That is the attachment. So you see those, I was talking about this, those are the critters that can both attach to enemies and you can use them with your pet, like Danilo is grabbing one right now, he just got it. So these give you temporary abilities that you can like you have it on the right side of the screen with a Q, use it as a secondary weapon. Like this is a tentacle, and it can attack in melee, close melee range, but it gives a big hit, and it can push enemies away. So it kind of gives you some breathing room and also damages the enemy. If the enemies, however, have it on them, they're able to take your pet and throw it back at you if you throw it. So it kind of protects the enemies from your pet. This one specific. There are a lot of types of these critters throughout the game, so each one has a specific use. Like Alex just got a shield, so you can see that in the lower right side of the screen there is an icon for the shield and how much shield she's left. So she's got a full shield right now, and that is a shield in the left part of the screen. And there is a vignette on the around the screen that is showing the effect of the shield. So you can soak up more damage, and as soon as you spend it, the critter falls off. And if the enemies have the shield, like I said, they will be able to soak up more damage. And some enemies can have 3 attachments to themselves, like 3 shields or 3 tentacles, or combination of those shields and tentacles and long-range weapons, and they get very challenging. So we hope to surprise both the audience and ourselves every time with the combinations that they use and we can use. So like this zombie has a blaster attached to it, yeah, and it's shooting. But the pet takes it away from it. Of course, the zombie is a small enemy, so it can instant kill it. So each enemy can attach these critters that are roaming around, and if you let them, all the enemies can get a lot of these critters and overwhelm you. So another strategy would be to either grab them or shoot them all, so the enemies don't get them, and it makes kind of job easier for you. But of course, the drawback is that you alert the enemies in that case.
Right.
Oh, I kind of fell behind them, so while talking, so they progress really far, so I gotta catch up.
You still in the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just waiting for lunch. Didn't have anything to eat for a few hours. Yeah, so you see a lot of corpses on the ground as well that may or may not be alive. So that's another part of watching out. Around every corner or every part of the ship, like sometimes the corpses are just laying there and they can be looted, but sometimes they will just jump at you.
I would definitely be the person that ends up just looking like a psychopath and shooting every single body preemptively,
Yeah, but
just to be safe.
the trick is there's limited ammo, so that's kind of a drawback. So you're not like able to. So you have to decide: do you want to be safe and shoot everything and run out of ammo, or do you want to just have really good reflexes once you do get in trouble? There is another zombie here.
Oh,
Did you take the enhancement, Alex?
yeah, it's. Alex plays with the god mode, so
No, I'm fine.
classic cheater.
I love the verticality of this level so far.
Yeah, we're trying to combine a lot of different like sizes of levels, and both vertically and horizontally. Like some spaces are big and some are really tight and claustrophobic, and some are big and open. And the big and open will usually have, depending on the randomness, but you can usually have more enemies in them as you wander around. And the tighter spaces are harder to survive because the enemies are so close to you. So it kind of has a payoff in both cases for the monsters. There are like these barrels that you can shoot at. Alex, just if somebody comes at you, yeah, there are also different types of barrels throughout the levels that you can. Don't kill me. Just try to. Okay. Yeah, the dog is coming. I'm just gonna shoot it. Yeah, Alex shot me.
Well, that was a perfect example of the friendly fire in your game.
Yeah. So you have to be careful. So there are weapons that do AoE damage, and kind of they're not very good for close range combat, and they're very unhealthy for your co-op partners. So you have to choose and kind of agree on what weapons you bring into the game, and if somebody is using a long range like rocket launcher, they should probably use it when there's no one around. So as well as a flamethrower or stuff that just there are precise weapons, of course, but like precise weapons require more skill. So there's another trade-off.
Right. I feel like that's another part of this where if I was playing, I mean, first I'd be wasting ammo shooting everything on the ground, and then I'd probably get twitchy and end up just shooting my teammates instead of the enemies in the middle of a firefight, and it would just be bad for everyone involved.
Perfect. There are
We
also
got
a lot
another
of like,
question here.
yeah, yep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
No, I just wanted to mention jump scares. There are a lot of them. There's a big guy, like he's got. Like, let us just kill it, and then we'll answer the question. So, this is one of the toughest enemies, and he keeps getting like these attachments to it. Attachments not only give them abilities, but also provide more health for them. So.
They have weak spots.
Oh my god.
Okay, I think no.
I
Grabbing
love
everyone.
I love
Let
the
me
sense
just-
of chaos as you start unlocking different kinds of weapons and stuff, like having flames everywhere. And
Yeah,
all
well,
these
the
different creatures.
idea is that when you're in co-op, like with 3 players, there's gonna be a lot more mess. There's gonna be more monsters and more mess, and it's harder from that perspective. But it's also like more action oriented. Once you're alone, playing the game in single player, there are less monsters, but it gets like more tactical and scary. So it's a different experience, hopefully, for 1, 2, or 3 players. All 3 kinds like work for us. Like we're trying to balance and find the fun in all approaches. So we don't want to like have our favorite approach, like force players to play in a certain way. They can just do it solo. Oh, there is a chair here. Just Alex, did you show it? There's a mimic chair here that's trying to do its best to be a common chair, and it can attack as well.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Let's just shoot it. It's bad chair.
Poor little thing.
Yeah, some people find it cute, so they don't want to shoot it, but still better than getting damaged. There's another one.
Getting eaten by a chair.
Okay, I just got killed, so please help me.
Nope.
Just no, absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. Just
You got
let's answer
yourself
that
into
question. That you had that question. I think we're safe enough now. So let's answer that.
Sure. Yeah, we have a question from chat here where they're wondering how difficult was optimization, and besides that, what was the most challenging just in general that you found so far, between either textures, models, lighting, all of that.
I'm not sure who should take this, Danilo.
I'm not sure either, because we are still in the optimization process, mostly because of the ports. So, but we have most of it optimized. We just get feedback from the porting team. They say, this UI texture is taking too much space in memory, or this is loading like it's a blocking loading asset, so it creates hiccups in the runtime. So can you look at this or that? But I mean, we are the main challenge is that the further player progresses, the more stuff is loaded into the memory, because at these later stages, more and more enemies are unlocked, and more segments, this level pieces are unlocked, and they all have to be loaded for the game. So that's why you have to have everything optimized, otherwise it wouldn't work.
And I guess I already mentioned the lighting and the the effects themselves, special effects like smoke and flamethrowers and stuff that gives a lot of particles, that took a lot of optimization, like to get it right, because we really needed a lot of smoke and fog and a lot of particles flying around. That we were learning about Niagara for the first time, because this was our first Unreal project. We used to work with Unity before, so that was a process of trying to figure out how much stuff we can put in and not have frame rate drops. So we wanted to work well on Xbox and PC and PlayStation. So there is like the porting team is in 3D Realms. So shout out to those guys; they're doing a great job. And we're working with them to try to provide as much help as possible and try to get it running smoothly on all the machines. I hear it's running good right now, as also it's running good on the I forget the name, the Steam app,
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, sorry. Steam Deck, yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I know optimization is never easy. And I would also argue maybe not the funnest part of development either, but is unfortunately so necessary.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, as long as you don't have the lucky part that we had was like we're not a horde shooter, so we don't have to have 50 enemies on screen. We didn't want that, and that goes to our advantage, that we can put more details into enemies and more like complex damage models and more animations into them, because they're never more than like 5 or 6 enemies on screen, and we try to keep it as low as possible so players can focus on one enemy at a time or 2 enemies at a time. So we don't want it too messy, but that is also very good for not having frame drops when you're having a big fight. So that genre combined with the darkness is something that lets us use more detail in both environments and on enemies, even though it's all dynamic lighting and all shadows are dynamic, and we couldn't get away with like I said, the baking stuff in and faking it a bit.
Yeah. There is a question here in chat that I'm very curious about myself, and I'm going to add on to it a little bit as well. But iBox Unreal is wondering how smart the AI is, and my addition to that is, are there multiple difficulty levels?
Neil, how smart is the AI?
I wouldn't say they're too smart. I mean, there are different types of behaviors for the different types of the enemies, and but basically they have a singular purpose, singular goal is to run to player and attack. They change their behavior based on the attachments, based on the critters they have on them. So even the heavy guy turns ranged once the blaster is attached, and features like that.
Right. That's awesome.
So yeah, that was a challenge, actually, making enemies respond to every critter that jumps on them and instantly changing their behavior. Yeah, that was challenging both gameplay and I guess developing part. Getting all the animations together, combinations of animations once they jump on them. So that was both fun and horrifying for development.
Yeah, I can only imagine with all the different variables included there.
So Alex, let's jump to the 3rd sector and unlock a medical ship.
Ooh, that sounds creepy. Anything to do with medical anything is never a fun time.
It's a must, and having hospitals in and experiments, scientific experiments. It's just we just wanted to get as many tropes in as possible because it's really old school, and we wanted to rely on those old school scares and tropes.
Yeah, gotta lean into it. I love that because I feel like there's an extra level of nostalgia there too around like exactly like you were saying. There's these very beloved tropes and experiences that people have gone through and grew up on. So being able to rely on that learned experience is really helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm already scared.
Yeah, and as for difficulty, there are 3 levels of difficulty. So there's easy, normal, and hard. And normal is hard enough, I'd say. I mean, it's pretty challenging for us as well. We don't usually play on hard because I think it's too challenging, and we recommend it once you finish the campaign and start on hard. And easy is for people who don't want to die too often. So, it's not challenging. I mean, there is still a challenge on easy even, but it's you won't die as often.
Right.
Oh, is this a like collectible quest? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like there are also some quests that you can collect some pieces for some memorabilia for your hub ships, and this is one of them. Like you get a specimen and you unlock it on your hub ship. But since Alex is the host, she's the only one who's gonna get it on because we're basically playing her campaign. So we do get the upgrades. We keep the upgrades, but we don't get the campaign progression on with your clients. So we don't want if we don't want to go and spoil the story and unlock stuff for ourselves, then we can go and grab some loot, but our campaign stays the same. So and if players of course join your campaign, then they can progress with you. So that's the idea. We follow the host's story. Did you get the enhancement?
Yes.
There was one thing that Alex did on the ship there that I just want to point out in case anyone missed it. But she pets the gun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pet it. There it is. There is a pet button. Like this was requested very early on from everyone. Like if you can't pet the gun, then this game isn't worth playing. So yeah.
I love that. I love that was added. That's amazing.
So I'm having a grenade launcher now. It's kind of tricky to use because it bounces around, but you have if it hits the enemy, it will automatically explode. But if it doesn't, if it lands near it, you can detonate it via the secondary button. So it's pretty useful. You can stack a few of those and wait for the enemy. Oh, there's the pet hopper upgrade. So this is my favorite upgrade in the game. Alex, did you take it? Come back and take it if you didn't. This allows your pet to hop from enemy to enemy. So it won't just attack one enemy. It will attack one and then go to next. If you stack a few of those, it can go around jumping and taking off enemies' parts around the level. So it's a pretty cool upgrade. These are we call them those are boombugs. They're like homing critters that go that if you use them, they will home in onto the enemy, explode when they reach it. but if the enemy uses it, they will home in onto you and give you a lot of damage. So you have to shoot them before they reach you to avoid the damage.
There's a question here from Spaceman who is wondering, what is the significance of the Jaws graphic that appears occasionally?
Yeah. That means the pad is ready for use. As the pad is finished with the cooldown and you can use it.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
not
cooldown
subtle.
in the bottom right corner. Yeah.
Love that. Which is also, of course, part of the logo for the game as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of try to put it as much as possible into the game, so it ties into game and it has a recognizable factor in the marketing as well.
I keep trying not to throw questions at you right as you get into combat, but
No, just
I
just
have
go
a
ahead. I
feeling
think-
it's not going to end.
Oh, now we have this guy, this new type of enemy. Like if you throw your pet at it, it will rip apart and bring you the critters because it's made out of critters. So it can provide you with various types of critters, and it can also like throw critters at the enemies in case there are none around. Sorry, just throw some grenades around. I hope you have God mode or something because I don't. Yeah, this is the morgue, so some pretty corpses here. Mutated stuff as well. Oh no, Alex is not here, so I'm just talking to myself. Okay. You guys just went away.
But
Yeah,
we know
let's
it
go.
over heart. There's another
Yes.
question from chat here, which I think is kind of interesting, especially considering that this was a pet project, as you put it, a passion project. So how did you narrow down the scope, especially on concepts that you might have been really attached to or really loved the idea of, to something that was actually completable?
Ouch. That's a tough one. So Danilo, try. You were the one like who had a lot of actually
Me?
ambition about about the ships. Actually, I think I forced you to cut down on the on some stuff regarding the plans for the ships. Because so you can touch upon that, or like how we procedurally generate the ships. It was even more ambitious at start. Like we wanted a lot more types of ships that actually are completely built out from the randomly. So each corridor, each infestation. So go ahead. You explain the process and how we got where we are now.
No, actually, you do a good job. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I wanted to do it fully procedural, and the lack of control was the issue for Goran. So he wanted to have his say in how things look, because it would be too random, too chaotic, So that's why we compromised on that, and now we have these segments that are the environment is crafted, and some props and some we call it dynamic actors. So those are the actors that are replicated and that are spawned once everything is in place. So those are variable through the layout of the level. So not fully procedural, everything.
Yeah, so
Right.
it was like the best of both worlds. We'd like to think. Like we had handcrafted stuff, combined with procedural stuff. So we wanted that touch and like you said, level of control. Like we needed some direction and needed level of control, like exactly which way the enemies spawn and how many and how the rooms are arranged. But on the other hand, we also wanted a lot of randomness to have a big pool of types of enemy spawns and combinations that appear. So everything is partly handcrafted and partly combined with procedural generation. So yeah, that was I think that was what we were supposed to answer.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
even forgot the question. So.
It was around like how you managed to pare down everything that you would have loved to put into the game into something that you think was actually
Well,
completable.
yeah. So we couldn't have a lot of types of enemies, obviously, because each enemy takes a lot of time to model, rig, and have tons of animations because of these critters that are attaching to them. So every time you have an enemy, you have to have like how many critters can they attach and how many animation that is combined with. And what kind of an enemy it is. Is it worth to have this different types? So we really have, I think, I don't know how many types of enemies do we have that are not that many types, but there are a lot of types of combinations. So we had to scale down on that part. So we really wanted to focus on fewer enemies and their combinations against having a lot of enemies and having a lot of trouble keeping up with all the stuff in the game. So that's also a part that we scale down on. Yeah,
It's never
and the
easy,
important
but
thing is, sorry.
I was just agreeing that it's never easy, but please go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yeah, we didn't want to have like facial animations or NPCs. Like we said, like from the start, if we can't do the best job out of it, and it's not crucial for this type of tactical horror game, let's not have it at all. Like let's not spoil and take away from our time of actually make the gunplay good and have good scary enemies by having some human NPCs or some cutscenes or anything like that. Like we just wanted to focus on the gameplay aspect of it and not the storytelling aspect. Like the storytelling is told through the little tidbits and missions and environmental storytelling. There is a story, there is a lot of lore, but like you pick it up in pieces and through atmosphere. So we didn't want to guide you through with the story and have a lot of talking and voice acting actually. So we really knew that if we did that, we could do that, but it would take a lot of focus from the stuff that we really wanted to do and get good at. Maybe for the next project.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much already put into this one, so.
No, I feel that games today like have a lot of everything in them. You know, like every game has a lot of open world and a lot of quests and a lot of RPG and a lot of cutscenes and tons of stuff. And you know, you need gigantic teams to pull that off. I mean, it's really gotten hard to do those kind of games. And we really, since we are inspired by, like, we're not a boomer shooter, but obviously we love those and we love the 90s and turn of the millennia shooters that kind of had more focused gameplay and they were not so big in scope. So we drew on that and try to kind of get back to the excitement of having original weapons and gameplay instead of like trying everything. So that is obviously we're in the indie team, so we can't try everything anyway. But you know, being limited kind of puts a good focus for the team.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of on a similar note to that, I was wondering, were there any big changes from the start of development to what you have now?
Did we already touch upon that? I'm not sure. We started with 4-player co-op, so that the first change that we did. Like we wanted to do 4-player co-op game, like starting with Left 4 Dead or or any of the newer 4 player games, but we soon found out that 4 was too much for like the tactical and too much for too messy and too action oriented. As soon as the 4th player jumped in, like the game wasn't horror, it wasn't tactical, that there was too much shooting and we needed to put in many more enemies to make it challenging. And then it kind of we realized quickly that if we wanted to do a more focused tactical game, we had to get rid of that. So we obviously looked at other games like Remnant that was doing 3-player co-op and was doing well. So that was kind of encouraging for us to go that way. And I think there are a few more games coming out with 3-player co-op now as well. So it was, I think it was the right choice. Like it's always scary to kind of make that choice if people are not doing it and you don't know how players will respond and be like receptive to 3-player versus 4-player co-op. But I think that now it's becoming more mainstream, so that good for us.
Works out, yeah. Okay, another question that I have to ask, and I have to. It's obligatory. I have to. But you don't have to pull any punches here. I want your honest answer here. But why did you end up choosing Unreal Engine as the engine for developing this project?
Hello?
Yeah, we were sure from the start that it's a good fit because we wanted, first of all, we wanted to do a shooter. We wanted to do a multiplayer game, so there was no question about it.
Well, that's
yeah. I mean, we were very happy once we were using, like, we worked on previous projects with Unity, and that was fine. But there were different types of games, and when we knew that we want to do a shooter, it was like, okay, but that's the best way to go for a multiplayer shooter, Unreal, and really we are happy with the choice. We didn't regret it a single moment. So it's not it's not like it doesn't have its own faults. Like we did have some learning curves and some stuff that we're not happy about, but for the most part, like we're very thrilled. It's really friendly towards making games. Like it has a really good interface, and it's easy. I'm not a technical guy, and I just jumped in and started making stuff in Unreal. So that's good for people who are not programmers and are not technical artists. It's easy to use as well. So that was pretty nice for us to see what we can do, like we said, with lights processing and models, just putting them inside and instantly looking great without worrying about rendering, and how we're gonna fix stuff ourselves. So that part was pretty easy. And apart from challenges, we are definitely sticking and going through Unreal 5 as soon as we finish this project. We're starting up with learning Unreal 5. Hopefully it's similar enough. So we really like to try out the new features there.
Yeah, good to hear. On you kind of briefly mentioned it, and I am curious about any of like, what were some of the biggest challenges that you did have to overcome while using UE, especially coming from previous projects in other engines?
I mean, it was a learning experience for us, and we also switched the native code that we write in C++. We switched from the C# and we basically learned the language for the project.
Yeah.
Just pick it up and
whole new.
No, you gotta do what you gotta do. So we learned the language, the whole team. The whole team was working previously with the Unity and the C#, and yeah, so that was, I would say, part of the challenge. Of course, learning the environment of the editor, and all the nuances. But we picked it up fairly quick.
That's good to hear. Do you have any advice maybe to give other developers who might be making the switch over and are currently in that process of trying to adapt to a new engine?
Oh wow. I don't know. I don't know if I can single out one advice. It's, I mean, it's different, but it's not. You know, if you have pure knowledge of game development, it should be fairly easy. And you know, any friction there is with learning, you know, the new layouts of the tools and everything, it's just a temporary, you know, just soldier through it, and it's for the better experience in the end, the better product.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's a very inspirational way to look at it. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Let's see. Are we going further into the medical ships here?
No, we're back to civilian ships now. But I don't know what sector we're on. Alex, I'm not sure what we picked, but I guess we'll find out.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
She wrote 3 in the chat.
3, okay. So still on 3. Have to be stealthy. Yeah, they're. Did we get turrets before? I don't know if we showed the turrets. I'll let Alex show the turrets.
Yes.
They're turrets that the pet can take out. And there's another one up there.
In your opinion, what do you think is the most dangerous enemy type in the game?
Well, I think we die a lot from the ranged teleporting enemy, the guy with the green stuff instead of the head. So I think we mostly die from that because it teleports behind you and has a ranged attack. So in terms of like surprise and death rate, yeah, definitely that one. But the most like the one with the heaviest attacks and the most health and most spots for the attachments is that big guy that we were shooting last level. I think the big one with the monitor for head. So it depends really on your play style. I mean, it also depends on what kind of stuff they attach to themselves. Like they can get very, like, this is very hard, these homing bugs, like, because they explode all over the place, and even if a zombie gets them, it can take down the whole team. Somebody get me, resurrect me, please. So it wasn't really like having enemies being some type of enemy being too difficult, but rather a situation combined with what it attaches to itself. And this also plays into the surprise element. And I'm dead again for some reason. What killed me? There's something. Is there a turret around? Or do we have an invisible enemy?
No, just trip down the stairs.
There is a turret.
Oh yeah, there's a turret.
Yeah, there's a turret. Yeah.
See, and that's why I was asking about enemy types, because I know for me personally, if there is a turret in a game, I will die to it. At least once.
Like you said, I just died to it, and I was talking and not paying attention, which is kind of a death sentence in the game. So our point was, if you don't pay attention, even if you think things get easy, you can be taken out by the silliest of things in the game. Even these little critters that walk around, they can attack you while you're passing them and take the last amount of health that you have if you're not careful. So the whole idea is just don't relax.
Mode. Yeah. Don't relax.
This is a very stressful. Okay, so this is the big mimic enemy. It mimics the door. So it randomly spawns, and we never know whether we can run into it, but you have to even be careful when approaching doors. That was the idea behind the enemy. You know, you're never sure, even if you're exiting the level and you're finished, and then that big guy just spawns and you have to, you take a lot of damage from it. Yeah, so this
Wow.
is kind of a botanic destroyed level, like where these teleporting guys thrive.
Behind you.
Try not to kill me. Yeah, one behind them. Sorry, I'm gonna try to resurrect you. Yeah,
Summon
sorry.
them.
Yep. Yeah, she
You
she went
spoke
into
about
the middle of the level and just, and we're talking too much, so we're getting killed all over the place.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. I have one life. Like, you have tokens. Like, you have resurrect tokens with you. That's like one extra life. But once you lose it, you die permanently. And not permanently, but you die for the mission.
There's a comment from chat here about the door mimic, where they're saying, "I never knew that I was gonna be afraid of an alien Kool-Aid man, but here we are."
Oh yeah.
I'm down too. So please. There's a mod. What? I just have to ask. There shouldn't be that guy there, but there is.
Hmm.
Oh, he spawned from the critters, right? Tell me that's the feature,
Yes.
right? Yes, it's a feature.
That's the
Okay.
future, of course. This one as well.
Oh
They're
god,
always
we
Oh,
just
there's
keep
the
dying.
turret.
Like, yeah, the turret just down. That's awesome. No, does anyone have resurrect?
I got one.
Yeah. Okay, there's a turret though. Take out the turret. Take out the turret. Take out the turret. There.
No,
Took it out. Yeah.
you're not
Okay.
the boss of me. Oh wait.
I love the phrasing on the death screen of hit F to embrace death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
just
actually
give up.
like a placeholder, but it sticked around.
It's so good.
It was depressing enough to say in the game, so yeah. So you can take like tokens from the resurrection station. You can take those extra lives, so they double down as that. So you can resurrect players, or you can choose to get the tokens if you like. So you keep that extra life, and you're probably gonna need it. So this is a tricky level because you have to jump around, and the game is not really too friendly about that sort of arcade jumping around, and you have to be really careful. So now oh, it's a mimic. It's a mimic, I think. Yeah.
Not fooling anyone. Whoa.
Yeah, there's the big guy. So. And that big orange ulcer is a good weak spot to hit. So this is like one of the shuttle bays, but destroyed shuttle bays with a shuttle sticking out. So we try to do a lot of storytelling with what happened in the environments and how they got destroyed. And these ships are like, well, they're probably there's been a few years since there was anybody alive, so that these ships were on their way for a long time from Earth to get to the actual location. So it had to show death and decay throughout the ships.
Ah, all right, there we go. Sorry about that. I needed to recover from a coughing fit.
Ah, okay. Hope you're okay
Sorry for
now.
my silence there for a second. Yeah, we're all good. Alrighty, let's see.
So Alex, I'm gonna try to use, if there's a monster, I'm gonna try to use the turret pet. Just, oh no, it's not attached to me anymore. Sorry, I know I lost it. Yeah, do something else.
Whenever the pet comes back, like it jumps back for you, it still gives me a little bit of a jump, even though it's on our side. So I have a question for you, and sometimes it can be a sore subject, but I just think they're fun. Were there any bugs that you've had throughout this that were particularly memorable, either because they were funny or just absolutely ridiculous, like could not expect something to react the way that it did?
There were a lot of bugs. I mean, there still are some bugs. So it's obviously. I mean, I don't know if we could pick some favorites because there were so many. We had flying enemies, obviously, dogs that were constantly like those dog-like creatures that were spawning on ceilings and walking around, and like players spawning on top of the derelict ships a lot. Like we chased those bugs for a long time, like how to spawn stuff and why it's coming spawning in different ways. That there were different reasons like collisions, and I don't know, Danilo can say about how we dealt with all that, but because of the randomness of the game, it's very hard to get a bug going twice, because you never get the same layout, or you never get the same enemies exactly in the same spot. So this presented a lot of challenge whenever something started doing weird stuff, so we had to recreate the conditions that were similar to get those bugs. So that was extra difficult for us. But like I said, I don't think that we had a single bug that we we would single out and say, yeah, okay, this one was bugging us for a long time. I mean, there were lots. We have to be honest, there were a lot of bugs, but like a lot of them, like just the massive bugs were more of a challenge than a single one.
The one bug turned feature is the one with the outline. So we had the issue with the. So we have different types of outlines. We have the outline that's local for the player, for the local player, and we have the outline that is communicated through the network. So each player gets the same object outline. And we started with the. So when you scan with the pet and you want to throw a pet at some enemy, that information we want is to be local. So only the player that is doing the scan can see what they are scanning. But because of some issue, it was remote. It was going through the network, and everybody could see each player could see the targeting, and that then we look at it and said, this is actually good for the UX. This is good for the team play. You need to communicate with others who are you targeting, especially if you want to sync the releases of the pet on the same target. So we just turned it into a feature.
Amazing. Sometimes that's
Yeah.
the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
This is the big cinema level. Like try throwing pets at this one, like it will throw them back. Like, oh, somebody has the EMP. Oh yeah. So the EMP damage actually stuns the enemy and detaches all the little modules. So it's a useful like support. Once you unlock this melee weapon, the baton, the you can hit enemies and just take off their attachments. So it's very useful. There's also an attachment for the pet gun that can do the same with bullets, like shoot the enemies and stun them and throw away all their extra attached critters that bug you. So it's a good thing to find throughout the levels.
This is awesome.
There are also a lot of loot crates that you have to find keys for so you get some extra loot, extra items. They're also random, so yeah, I just shot the acid barrel and killed Alex in the process.
Sorry, Alex.
I killed myself as well, so that's karma, instant karma. So these guys that you see, these that are made of critters, if you shoot them and they disperse into critters, if you don't kill the critters, they will just recraft themselves from critters. They're able to like kind of be immortal. So it's good to just shoot at them, because I think it takes about 5 critters to get together and create that enemy all over again.
Yeah. Well, I've got a list of questions just right here that are super rapid fire. It's just your favorites of certain aspects of the game. So first one, what is your favorite feature or gameplay tool?
Anil, you want to take that?
Future. Petting the pet.
Well,
Fair.
the favorite is
Fair enough.
the pet. That obviously is something that I love. The critters attaching to enemies. I mean, I think that's what gives the most variability to gameplay. Apart from the pet, I mean, them attaching and combining. That's one of the coolest things I think about the game.
Yeah, definitely. It gives it so much variety and variation to... I mean, there already is so much just with the levels being different, but then also having just that variation in enemy types alone, it can make everything just feel like its own run-through, its own unique run-through each time.
So this is a big vault. Like the big vaults have a lot of protection in them. So you gotta pay for the loot. I think it's all clear. Oh. No, there's another one. Where is it? Oh.
All right, next favorites would be your favorite environment and your favorite prop.
Well, favorite environment, I guess it's... we didn't get to some of them, but there is a surgery bay. Like, I love that one. Like, there is a big surgery operating room. That's from my side, and I love the big, heavy monster with the monitor on it. That's my favorite. I don't know about vanilla.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a favorite. For the monsters and for the props, actually, I like the new gun. Does that count? The new sidearm, the revolver. I've been playing with it.
Did you show that at all? Yeah, you did.
I mean,
That's a
Alex.
big revolver that we added to the game recently. Yeah, so
Love that.
sort of like an overpowered sidearm. And this also
Yeah.
you know is part of the gameplay if you want to focus on more pet doing the damage and your sidearm doing the additional damage. That it's good to get a new sidearm and have pets rip apart instead of just shooting enemies with a pet. So pet also is good for preserving ammo as well. So and it gives you a bit of breathing room once it attaches to the enemies. So you can run away or take a better position while the pet temporarily stuns them and while it's ripping them apart. So you can take a better position and shoot. And if you have a good sidearm or melee weapon, you can add to that damage. So let's jump one more sector, just make it harder. Or do we still have time? I'm not sure what it's.
I think we have time for maybe one more mission. I think we could do.
Okay, then I'm gonna take the rocket launcher just to kill them all. And we didn't show like let's take a hacking. Like Alex, can you take a hacking mod? And I'll take the I don't know, Danilo, if you have. There's still a lot of stuff that we can do. Maybe take a smaller medical ship or something if we have it. Yeah, there is a big medical ship here, so we'll go back to some utility ship. I don't know, or restart the mission if you want to another mission. Let's roll again.
Awesome. The last favorite I'm curious about from both of you, since there's some really, really cool ones, even just within like your own character, like the reload animations and stuff. But what is your favorite animation of the entire game?
I love when the enemies are spawned from the nests. I like that. I mean, just enemies getting up from those big organic piles. I don't know if we even focused on that in the video. I'm not sure what we showed. Alex, did we show that? So those are always cool. Like the different, I like there's like submerging a lot of meat and they're like slowly getting up. That's my personal favorite. It's maybe not the best, but it's creepy and always surprising to see them.
What about you, Danilo? Do you have a favorite animation?
Yeah, I was gonna say again petting the pet because that's basically the whole feature is just playing the animation.
That's fair. This is fair. I mean, getting the scratch under the chin, it's too good.
Yeah,
we should add more of those.
All right, we're ending on a beautiful mind. That feels very fitting.
Yeah, you have to like get the brain. There's a preserved brain of a scientist, I think. Yeah, if Alex presses tab, like it expands and explains the way the mission and gets you more info on everything that you pick up. So that's and you get to see yourself in third person as well. So yeah, let's destroy this thing. I'm gonna use their. Sorry. Yeah, I just got it. Like these small critters are like basically they have spider webs that can ensnare enemies or players. So you get stuck in place, and it gets very difficult once enemies ensnare you and surround you.
Sorry, I'm having a day today. My headphones just died for about 10 seconds there.
Ooh.
I'm a professional.
It's all cool. I mean, it's all part of gaming, you know, just stuff breaking apart.
Breaking apart, dying, batteries just running out of juice at the worst possible time, always.
Let me try using the pet turret just to show it off. Yeah, so pet can act as a turret. Oh, I died. That's that. Yeah, and now Alex is hacking the enemy. The pet can also hack an enemy, and it can be. It's very good to hack these big guys and have them on your side for a while, and it even makes them easy to kill afterwards after the hacking is over. This is like a corporate headquarters in the game. We also touched upon those 80s tropes like big evil corporations. I mean, that's always modern, but you know, we have a lot of story about the evil corporation that actually created this biotechnology and ties into the gameplay.
I love that.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I just said that it's there. There's another chair here. Did we fix? We used to have a bug where the rocket launcher couldn't damage it, and yeah, we still have that one.
Oh, this is an older build.
The
Don't worry
chair?
about it.
Yeah, it's an older build. The new build is perfect. Like, it has no bugs and everything
bugs.
works fine. No bugs. And I ran into electricity now, so come and rescue me, please. Again, I'm really, I suck at this.
I'm old and fragile.
Yeah, I'm too old for this
There you
shit.
Come on, man. Be polite. So, snatch the key.
Where is it? Oh no, it's behind, in the area behind, I think. Right here.
We do have a question from Retromancer. They're wondering what the ratio of C++ versus blueprints was for most of the game.
Yeah, so since it's obvious we are using both, but I don't know the exact ratio, but I would say the most base classes are, you know, in the C++, and we tend to put all the APIs and, you know, all the public functions in the code, so it would be accessible through, you know, blueprints as well as the scripts. But I would say that it's like around well, 2080 if we're talking about you know, sheer number of classes, but if we're looking at things like the functions that are used to you know, to generate stuff, to generate rewards, to generate layouts, they're all native, and they are like the big deal, the big meat of the game, and they're all in code. So yeah.
Very cool. See, Alex picked more health. I think that's... I'd probably just pick more health every single time it was an option myself. I do love all the different posters and screens that are up and around. It really
Yeah, well, that
helps.
was really a big part of storytelling, because like we knew that we
Yeah.
would, like I mentioned, we don't have cutscenes and NPCs, but we try to like present the world a lot through the posters and props. So you can read about the companies that run the place and all different factions, different military. Factions, and they all like speak their through those posters throughout the game. So we have like 80s commercials, very 80 commercials inspired posters. We went through like 80s magazines and just took a lot of design inspiration from there and try to mimic it as much as possible in the posters throughout the game. So also graffiti and things that are written on the screens of the computers as well. We try not to just make it, pretty or a certain color, but tell a story there too. So there are always a lot of details for players if they're looking for them and running around for the second or third time through the levels and discovering new parts of lore.
And you forgot to say your favorite feature is the shader for the
Yeah, that's
posters.
true. Like, yeah, the Daniel made this shader for pixelizing the all the screens and posters in the game. So it's really fun to put different resolutions on screens and pixels and different effects that go with that. So it's a fun tool that was made for this project in Unreal. So yeah, that's my favorite tool in the game.
It's not too late to change. To save him.
I don't know where you guys are, but there's.
Is there fall damage in this, by the way?
Yes, there is. I mean, if you like, Alex is up there right now, and if she just jumped, she wouldn't take damage from the one floor above, but just a bit. The damage starts a bit above the floor, and if you have like those vertical levels, you die if you fall down.
Yeah. Oh no.
Surprising, we didn't fall down today, but it actually happens to us a lot. Let me switch the electricity off, so I don't want to die.
Oh, and also falling into a pit is instant death.
Oh, like how there's the kind of the chasm in the middle there, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you die instantly in there. So that's a no-no.
No rescuing, no nothing.
I think you've all been too pro this whole time to actually like fully die. But when that does happen, do you have a spectator camera on your other teammates, or how does that work?
Is it working? Guys, it should be show it. I don't know what state it is in. There is. I mean, there is in the newer build. I think it's almost fixed, but I'm not sure about this one. We can try. You can. Let's kill Zelda. Let's kill Alex. Yeah. And we're gonna sacrifice you for. You have to take one for the
Why?
team. So
She
sorry.
can jump. Just jump. Come on.
No, I want
Let
to
her
kill
jump
I mean,
into the pit.
just embrace that, please. Yeah. Where did you come? Go ahead. Jump in. The
Bye.
pit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What? No. Embrace that. That
Embrace
wasn't
that.
supposed to happen.
Why did she not instantly die? Okay, so now we're finding Bug's life. So okay. Okay, so
Old bugs,
yeah.
old build.
Yeah, it's
Don't worry
very
about
old. So this is like no, we already fixed it. Yeah, let's go. So basically, the option now is if we find a resurrection station, she will be resurrected. But the minus side is that she lost all the bonuses, the bonus buffs that she picked up, and those don't come back during the mission. And also, the I think, what else does she lose? The crafting components also.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
so
have
so
to be
that's the
alive at the
penalty.
end of the mission to. Yeah.
Yeah, and there the checkpoint resurrects, so she's fine. It's all part of the game.
She's fine physically, but emotionally might be a different question.
Yeah, let's try to have a multi-kill on this guy if everybody's pets are. Yeah, okay, so now we put 3 pets on it, and that's instant kill. And the instant kill, like pet ripouts, give you more rewards from that, guys. So a lot more ammo and health for everyone if we manage to pull it off. So yeah, we're ending on a high note here.
I love that there's some extra aspects of teamwork really involved that you get like legitimately rewarded for in instances like that.
Yeah, that was also a challenge. Like, what exactly does it bring to the table? Like, if you play it with teammates, and so that's the combination of pets is really a big payoff.
Yeah.
Loot.
I always feel bad for those poor bots just ripping their heads off.
Yeah, they provide extra pieces for crafting, so it's always good to sneak up on them and loot them.
Awesome. Another mission successful.
Yeah,
Well done,
Handless.
everyone.
The game didn't crash, I have to say. So that's for 2 hours. That's pretty good for this build. Just putting it out there. You know.
It went really smoothly, honestly. I mean, couple of fairly minor bugs, I would say. Overall, you've done, and especially with this being an older build, I think this held up remarkably well. So I'm very excited to see just where it goes even from here.
Okay, so I guess
Back on the
we're
ship.
done.
There we go. Fantastic.
Sure.
Just wanted to get back on the main ship here. Yeah, I think that's about all the time we have, just because I don't want to keep y'all captive on stream for the entirety of the day. But before we wrap up, I have one final question for you. It's kind of similar to one that I threw at you earlier about any advice that you might have for people that are swapping between game engines. But just in general, if you could think of one tip that you might have learned during this project's development, just in general, that you could give out to other developers, what would that be?
I can say something like, once you learn a certain genre, don't jump away from it, because you're just learning a lot of new stuff again. So that's we did a lot of games before, and always jumping from genre to genre, and it's a bad idea. Like stick to what you know and try to improve upon it. Like, you will save a lot of time and you will make a better product next time. We are sticking with a first person shooter now, and we are sticking with Unreal, so we're not gonna jump for our next game into anything drastically different. So that's one of the things that starting, and know the size of your team and how what you can really accomplish. I mean, don't go for everything. Like, really plan for what is most important to you in the game, and everything else just throw it out. It's more important to throw things out than to throw them in. So that's from the design perspective. From the programmer's perspective, I don't know, you can say something else.
I'm just trying to find
Have a clean
something
code.
useful for.
Naming assets is very important. Naming assets is
Yeah,
like
I mean,
we're
but that
notorious. Yeah, but it makes your life easier, and even the code, like finding things in the code, properly naming stuff,
true.
like from the beginning, is like we always have placeholder
But that,
names, and if you don't change them in time, it's horrible. I mean, it just gets messy during development if you try to change anything. That's as far as I'm going to go into your end of the
guess I
yeah.
would say figure out the name of your game before creating the project, because switching it afterwards, it's
Yeah, but
not
it's sometimes
impossible,
not
but
up to
it's
you. It might be a market condition as well. So that might not depend on you, but it's also good advice. Yeah,
Mm. Naming things are hard, you know?
it's
It's
always
it's
hard. I mean,
tough.
yeah,
like
I
I
know.
said, how I mean, this is like the engine, the Unreal provides so much stuff, and yet you always have to do one more thing, and you have more challenges each time. Like the technology progresses, it does give you new options, but it gives you new challenges, and you have the bar constantly keeps getting higher. And I
Mm.
don't know. I think the whole gaming industry has a problem with that. Every new game keeps raising the bar, like even through innovation or technology or to sheer scope. So that is something that I think is a problem for all developers, no matter the size of the team. So like being what is different about your game, what is better about your game, what you have that others don't have. So it's something that's hardly sustainable, I think, for a longer period of time, unless, I don't know, we get quantum computers and AI that can just make them games themselves, which I hope it doesn't. But some aspects would be great to be fixed with AI, like bug finding. AI can do
Mm.
bug finding and some manually difficult and boring tasks. So that's part of technology that I'd like to see in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Could agree with that. Get out some of the smaller, more monotonous, tedious tasks.
Yeah,
But yeah, awesome. Well, this was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on here and play your game and tell us about the development experience and how it all works and what all's gone into it. Really, really appreciate your time and effort for being here today. This was so much fun.
thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us,
us.
and it was great for us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, this was wonderful. And for anyone who's watching that's interested in the game and watching how it develops and wants to keep up with you, where do you recommend that they do so?
Well, come to our Discord server. Come to Ripout's Discord server, and we always respond pretty quickly, and to any suggestions or questions you might have, or some things that you don't like about the game as well. So we're ready to hear it all.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, go join their Discord, hang out, enjoy the game because it's just incredible. I'm excited for the official release later on when that comes. I'm going to be waiting with bated breath, going to try and probably suck, and it's going to be a good time.
Just like us. Yeah. So
Awesome. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. And also thank you everyone who came to watch the show. It wouldn't be what it is without you and your participation and you asking questions and just in general being part of our community. So thank you for being here and hanging out. We actually just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube recently, and we couldn't have done that without
nice.
all of you. So thank you for being here. Yeah, it's a huge, huge milestone. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming and hanging out each week and learning more about development and hopefully taking some of the tips and tricks and everything that we give you along the way into your own development journeys, which we would love to hear more about as you continue on with those. If anyone missed any part of the stream earlier, no worries. We post all of our streams in video format that can be viewed on demand on both our Twitch and YouTube channel at Unreal Engine. You can also follow us on all social medias at Unreal Engine to keep up with news and updates and all the latest and goodest of things that we've been doing. And then lastly, if you aren't already, consider coming and joining our Epic developer community at dev.epicgames.com/community, where you can meet other developers, you can get access to tons of tutorials, and those are tutorials from both our own employees here at Epic as well as other developers in the community, and lots of other intense stuff. There's so many goodies there. So if you haven't gone and checked it out already, please do so. It's a good time. We have fun there. But with that, one last big thank you to our team here that made Ripout. Incredible work. Like I said, very excited to see where it goes.
Thanks a
And
lot.
we'll see all the rest of y'all later. Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.